Something's wrong with my legs. When I go like this, and then I go like that, I end up at the liquor store.
Hey guys, it's time for Chit Chat and Wine with Chardonaynay
and Cabernella.
If you are returning to our channel, oh my gosh, thank you so much. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for coming back and making it to episode 5. Yes, guys, if you're new, well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you catch our last 4 episodes so you can get to know me and Cabernella a little bit more. And don't forget, if you're loving us thus far, to subscribe and like.
Yes, guys, we drop a new episode every single Wednesday, so make sure you hit that notification bell and never miss a Wine Down Wednesday with Chardonaynay and Cabernella.
That's right.
Okay, guys, so today's wine is bread and butter. Peanut butter jelly time. No, I'm just kidding. Bread and butter is another California wine brought to you by one of our viewers who sponsored our wine.
Thank you.
You know who you are.
We love you. You're
Yes.
number 1.
Thank you so much for your sponsorship of this week's Wine Down Wednesday. Bread and butter is a pretty reasonably priced wine. You can find it in almost any store for about $14 to $17. So much more expensive than the wines we've been reviewing for you, but a lot more affordable than things that you'll find on the shelves.
That's right.
And what I love about this company is they like to keep wine drinking stress-free and simple. They want honest, delicious, easy wine that should not cause you stress. Sign me up.
Yes, sign me up too.
All right, Chardonaynay, let's try it out.
Cheers!
Okay, my feelings of this are, the aroma is nice. It is velvety, textured. I like the taste of it. It almost has like a smoky taste to it, like someone blew a cigar into it. What I'm not getting from it that I love from my Cabernets is that warm heat to my chest. So I didn't receive that. And also, it tastes a little too sweet, a little too sugary for my likings of Cabernet. I really like a robust, dry Cab. This one is a little sweet.
Can I taste it?
Yes. Let's try it out, girl. On a scale of 1 to 10, based on the wines that we've been drinking, I would give this about a 7. It doesn't hit as nicely as, let's say, the 19 Crimes Cabernet. This one it's okay. I mean, it's good, but you can get better for cheaper. However, if you got this, I don't think you would be disappointed because it has a wonderful flavor, just not what I was expecting personally. What do you think?
Well, in regards to yours, I definitely do taste that sweetness.
Yeah.
I do taste a little smokiness. And it's crazy because the theme goes on, because my Chardonnay tastes like toasted oak with the slash of smokiness. Do I sound like a professional whiner? Let me stop.
You already are.
One thing, when Courtney did her research on the company, they are very simple, and that's the first thing I thought when I looked at the bottle. It's very plain, very simple. It's a COVID wine 2020, so that's Courtney's thing. She always says
We
that
needed it back in
2020.
2020 for sure.
But I did like it. It is more subtle than other wines. For example, like 19 Crimes, which is a more bolder wine. But I would give this in all, honestly, I'll give it a 7. I would give it a 7.
So
it's clean
7 across the board.
Yes, it's clean. Like you said, it's simple. It's very simple. I can see myself eating this with some Capri salad. Is that what it's called, the Capri salad?
Yeah.
Caprese salad with the mozzarella and the tomatoes,
Yes.
the basil. So I like it. I like it.
Cheers to that,
Cheers
girl.
to that.
Okay.
Good job, bread and butter. Good job.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's gonna stop me from drinking this bottle, let's just be honest. However, in the grand scheme of things, you can get better for cheaper. That's my opinion. So, we had an interesting, we are always scanning the internet. Like, come on now. You got your phone in your hand, you got a couple minutes to kill, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you're watching videos of a toddler throwing a tantrum, hitting, telling the mom no, and instantly I get into...
Is it too early?
It's too early. So we want to talk about discipline. As moms, we have had to bring our kids to where they are now. A 17-year-old and a soon-to-be 15-year-old, and Tracy has a 15-year-old son. So we've been there. We've had our kids test the waters and see what kind of reaction they could get out of us. And so today we wanted to talk about disciplining your child. So, and what brought this on is the mom in this video let that child control her.
I have to see this video.
All right, we're gonna play it for you.
This video.
We're gonna pop the video in right now.
You're just picking. That is enough.
I'm not sitting.
Okay, then you can sit there. She's there.
No, I got him. Oh.
Thank you.
No, I want to.
Okay, girl, what did you think?
This is what I thought. Automatically. No ifs, ands, or buts.
So when Robbie was that age, if he would have thrown that kind of a temper tantrum, your response would have been pow pows?
Definitely pow pows, but I'm grateful that he was not that kind of a kid to give me those tantrums. But yes, I would have gotten my chancleta because I'm from the Caribbean, I'm Dominican. I would have gotten an ass whooping, and so would have he.
Why do you think that little girl acted that way?
Because I feel like the mother didn't have control. She didn't have control.
How did you get control of Robbie at a young age?
Well, Robbie was with me all the time. So I know we had that mother-son attachment. But when he would do something and it was not a positive thing, when he did something out of his character, I would tell him, okay, you did this, you threw your toy against the room and you broke my vase. Now you cannot watch Yo Gabba Gabba. And I would take the cassette player that he would watch repeatedly, and I would take that away. But he was never like that. He was not like throwing a tantrum crazy. I would whoop his ass.
Do you think it really has like something to do with maybe personality?
I think it has a lot to do with personality, just letting your kid know who's in charge and be consistent with it.
Yeah, Robbie's now 15 and I've got two kids, 17 and almost 15. And my kids are different personalities. When they were younger, my daughter would have been the most likely to want to do something like that. I remember the look on her face as she would see kids do stuff, and then she would look at me like, should I test this out? And then my response to them, and I disciplined them differently at different ages, but when they were younger like that, I thought, let me get the most bang for my buck. Let me lay it on so thick one time that every other time I have to say, don't do that, they knew what that looked like. And so my kids, like one good time of yelling or maybe tagging them, just one good time. And I'm a firm believer, when your kid is younger, spankings are appropriate. Difference between like punching and kicking your kid as to giving them one good tag on the butt or on the hand when they're a toddler, so they can associate their poor behavior with a consequence. But now that my kids are older, I'm of the mindset that I feel like kids deserve respect. I feel like if your kid feels heard, if you talk with them about what it is that's going on and why they're doing whatever it is, I have noticed that I get a much better response because my kids feel respected, and when they feel respected, they treat me with respect back. And I rarely have issues with the kids. COVID hurt us a little bit.
We're lucky.
We both struggled with some post-COVID behavior issues. I think that there must have been a rumor going around at the school that the kids could pass without doing their homework. So we ended up with 2 8th graders who said F it to homework and literally just didn't do their homework.
And now that he's 15, what I do is I take away the Wi-Fi. That way he has no communication with the outside world, and he's forced to pay attention with his surroundings, what's going on in front of him in the present time. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. That's exactly what I did. These kids have access to everything. They have more resources, more fun, more games, more this, more that than we ever had. So it's almost a little easier to find what is their thing.
Because they don't have to leave the house to do all this. They can literally, they have the whole world in their hand right now. Us, back in the early 90s, we had to be out there. We were home. We didn't know what was going on in the world.
Walked in late. When I was younger, my mom would punish us for the same thing, different ways. And as I was the oldest, I got I would say the worst of it, My little sisters are watching. They're like, okay, Courtney got a spanking for that. Don't get caught doing that, or don't do that.
You were like the experiment child.
I was. The oldest always gets it the worst. Was that the same for you?
Yes, and the thing with us is if one of us got in trouble, we all got in trouble. And that was very annoying. Why do Caribbean parents do that?
Oh, yes.
Did your mom do that? Like if one of you...
Let me tell you something. I have a funny story. When I was a kid, my sister Kelsey, I don't even know what she was doing because I'm laying in the living room, the lights are out, and I'm under a blanket on the floor watching TV. And she comes running through and jumps behind the couch. And my mom comes in there and she grabs me by my arm and spanks me. And I'm like, what did I do? And then Kelsey comes crying from behind the couch. I'm sorry. No spanking.
Being the oldest kind of sucks in a way because we are the experiment child.
Did your parents ever tell you, hey, if they do this while I'm gone, oh, you guys are in trouble, but put it on you?
Yes, absolutely.
I was trouble though.
The harshest punishment I received as a child was to stand on my knees for like 30 minutes against the wall.
Oh my god.
That was like the hardest punishment I've gotten. I've had cousins that had to do this on rice.
Oh my, that sounds like capital well, that sounds severe. I don't even have a memory that deep. Like I remember one time we did something. I can't even remember what we said to my mom. And so we pretended to cry so she wouldn't spank us or whatever. And we were like, ah. Oh, I know what it was. She did give us a spanking, but we just pretended that it hurt. We were like, no. And then she walked out of the room and we're like, that didn't even hurt. She's so stupid. And then she came back and she's like, try again.
Yep. Or how about when you don't cry and they're like, oh, you're not crying? I'm gonna make you cry now.
That is some messed up stuff now that you think of it. I mean,
I've gotten my ass whooped as a kid a lot, but I do not, okay, when like you said, when Robbie was little, I would give him spankings, but I would never beat him.
Never crossed the
line.
line.
I don't think I think the last time I gave him bow bow was like when he was maybe 8 years old. I think that was the last time.
Listen guys, everything that we're saying here is our own experience and our own opinions about child rearing. We want to hear from you in the comments. What's a funny story you had from punishment in your childhood? But before we hop off, Trace, give the parents that are listening some advice. What are 3 things that you would recommend they do or use to help parent their kid?
One, I feel, is make your kids feel heard. Treat them like they are another human being just like you are. 2, do things with your kids, engage them with whatever activities you have going on, because that's an opportunity for you to really get to know them and for them to know you. And 3, I think, is love on your child. I tell Robbie I love him every time he walks up and down the stairs. Baby, I love you, I love you, I love you, because I feel like you can't tell your child that you don't love them enough. I don't think I can tell him every second.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's great advice. I follow the same philosophy for my kids. If I could give you a great advice, is that communication is everything. So not just getting to know your kid, but helping to set expectations. Kids like boundaries. If you let them know what those boundaries are, clearly communicate actions and the consequences ahead of time, it gives you the freedom to then discipline them. Another little trick I used with my kids is sometimes if they did something and it was maybe a first time offense, or it was something that I felt like could be a great learning moment, when we were discussing it, I would ask them, what do you feel is an appropriate punishment for this? What should I do? You're me, I'm you, I just did this to you. How should I feel and what should I do? And you know what? It's very eye-opening for kids because it causes them to critically think about their actions, and then it also teaches them empathy because it forces them to be in your shoes, really feel the feelings from your end, and it makes them remember that moment. I really feel like that lesson sticks. And I've had some great success with that. So, well,
cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
If you have any parenting tips, of course, we're all open to learn from each other. Feel free to drop them in the comments. Would love to hear how you're parenting your children.
Yes, guys. No too extreme pow-pows. Don't punch your kid in the head. Don't slap. Don't let them go to bed without dinner. Those are things that we do not agree with. But other than that, we hope you guys have a great Wind Down Wednesday. We appreciate
moms,
you joining in.
Wind down, relax, enjoy your evening. Let the kids put the dishes away.
If you took home a good nugget from this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next Wind Down Wednesday, everybody.
Cheers!